I don't like doing sound bites because even sound bites take a long time to upload. What may have been visible on those notes was that Robin Stoddart's supply of methadone, he was still on drugs, or coming up. No, if he was on methadone, I guess he was coming off as well. His supply of methadone, was it a 2-day supply or a 3-day supply, had gone missing. Ellen mentioned that quite a lot, so the police must have mentioned it to Ellen. And it was mentioned at the inquest. It was said that he could have taken it himself, all of it, in one go. And I suppose that's possible. I'm trying to think where he was by that time, because there's a point at which they're talking about him as if he wasn't there. Or perhaps he did give his evidence and leave, I can't remember. It was missing. It was missing, presumably from the scene, I don't know. Although why would he have had his 2 to 3 day supply of methadone at a place where they were only spending one night, and not in Fiona's home? That's not clear. But what is clear is that was missing, and a number of things were missing from Fiona's home, which, as I've said, was not where she died. It seems to me that that could be, in part, a motive for killing her. Okay, let's go for this. I have been in withdrawal from alcohol, which was rough. With alcohol, of course, you're in the fortunate position that if you decide you can't take it anymore, you can go and buy some more, quite legally, quite easily. I have also been in withdrawal from prescribed tranquilizers, i.e. benzodiazepines. And in fact, I was going to write a third book about that. It would only disappear off the shelves in no time flat, as they all do. But I was going to write about it anyway. Withdrawal from that drug was horrific. Withdrawal from alcohol, the worst was over in 8 days. In fact, the worst was over in 48 hours. All of it was over in 8 days. I suffered withdrawal symptoms from prescribed benzodiazepines for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 3 years. Now, because I didn't even want to go back on them or raise the dose or anything like that. I'd been through so much to get off them. So I kept telling myself it's got to get better. It never did get better. But if I were forced into withdrawal from benzodiazepines, there's very little doubt I would do pretty much anything to get some. Now, anyway, I would never go through that again. I would never go through that again. Lots of people in benzodiazepine withdrawal kill themselves because if the doctor says you're not having any more, you're not having any more. And your only recourse then is to buy the blasted things, which is illegal and dangerous. And you have to have a supply of money to keep that going. My analogy here is, although I did, as I say, once write a book about benzodiazepine withdrawal and the horrors that were perpetrated on complete innocents who had no idea what they were taking. Anyway, another tangent for now. I think I will make I have made videos about that. I may well upload them. I can imagine that if you are in withdrawal from heroin, although I've been told many times by many people that withdrawal symptoms from heroin are far less than those from benzodiazepines. I can nevertheless imagine that if you are in withdrawal from heroin, you would go to some lengths to get heroin or a substitute for heroin. Then the methadone was missing. Now, I know my father was there because of his phone call. I did not know that he had cancer. I do know that my father, way back when, had taken opium in the opium dens in Hong Kong. Whether he had continued to take drugs, opiates, for the rest of his life, I do not know. I know he was two different people, in more ways than simply the composite Desmond Oakley and the composite alias Dick Oakley. He was two different people. One everyone took to and liked, particularly women, it has to be said. And the one I personally knew. Well, that different behaviour, I suppose, could have been caused by drug use. My point that I'm coming to so slowly is that only weeks later he was diagnosed with cancer. If he had cancer, I have to assume he'd been in pain. If you're in pain, you want painkillers. Now, the cancer had not been diagnosed in Southampton. Diverticulitis had been diagnosed in Southampton. The cancer was only diagnosed on the 18th of May, and he died on the 2nd of June. And it was diagnosed in Tickhill Hospital near Doncaster, but in Southampton. But the point is, he must have been in pain. And of course what I'm wondering is whether he took the methadone. That would not explain why things like photographs and a crucifix went missing from Fiona's home. 7 minutes of something perhaps not very clear.